Do you ever like introducing people to movies they haven't seen or heard of? I love showing people movies I've enjoyed. So when my nephew told me he hadn't seen John Wick, it was time to give it a watch. On the surface, John Wick appears to be a random generic action movie that we've seen out of Liam Neeson for quite some time. And in some respects, it is. It doesn't pretend to be more or less than it is. It's a movie that seeks to entertain the viewer and succeeds at it. And in the end, isn't that what counts with movies? The movie begins with John Wick losing his wife to cancer. As a way to deal with his grief, she bequeaths him a puppy, Daisy, who turns out to be quite the pivotal character in this movie. He learns to live with this dog and care for her, but when a band of spoiled rich kids steals his car and kills Daisy, John explodes, and we learn he was an elite assassin part of a shadowy cabal. It also turns out that the dog killer was the son of one of John's contractors. He realizes that this transgression spells doom for his son, as John was known as the Baba Yaga, or the Boogeyman, and was the guy you sent when you wanted to off someone properly. John stays at a hotel for assassins named the Continental. Here we are treated to a great performance by Lance Reddick, playing the concierge. His matter-of-fact mannerisms provided levity during some tense fight scenes. From here, John methodically hunts down his dog's killers to a nightclub, which gave us one of the greatest fight scenes in recent memory. To be honest, I actually prefer the fight scene in the nightclub in John Wick over the lobby scene in The Matrix. It's much more stylized and gritty. His mark manages to get away, so John goes after the family's fortune and shady business by setting their money on fire. An excellent strategy which lands him a call with his old contractor acquiescing to kill his son. However, not without setting a contract on John in the process. The film ends with John taking out his former contractor at the docks and finding a new stray dog to call his own. John Wick provides an entry point into a bigger universe full of shadowy characters going completely unnoticed to the general population. The writing is spot on as it introduces the rules of this universe and largely sticks to them, providing a cohesive narrative throughout the film. In the sequels, we learn more about what governs this world and everything is much more fleshed out. For such a fleshed out world, I was surprised this wasn't based on a book or video game, but rather written solely by screenwriter Derek Kolstad, whose credits include One in the Chamber and The Package. The story is loosely based on U.S. Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell chasing down 3 teens who killed his therapy dog in Texas in 2009. Luttrell, who wrote the book Lone Survivor, a book I highly recommend, about his fire team's ordeal during Operation Red Wings, received a dog named Daisy, named after the members of his team. Naming John Wick's dog Daisy was a good touch and paid respect to the Navy SEAL. I really like it when films are respectful like that. The fight choreography is just spectacular. It's pretty well grounded in comparison to the wild stunts in The Matrix. The level of training that Keanu Reeves underwent was truly impressive. Director David Leitch made his debut with this and knocked it out of the ballpark. His recent movie, which I've also reviewed, Bullet Train, was spectacular. His style is quite sharp and unique. His other movie, Atomic Blonde, had a similar exposition to John Wick, with stylized neon colors and dark, moody set pieces. Keanu Reeves is fantastic as usual. What impressed me most were the YouTube videos showing him doing the 3-gun runs on the range, where he used 3 different firearms in quick succession. This is a guy that takes his craft seriously, and it shows. People may underestimate him if they only think of Bill and Ted and Speed, but this guy is a classically trained actor and even starred in the Shakespearean comedy Much Ado About Nothing in 1993. The rest of the cast are great support for Keanu's performance. John Leguizamo isn't as annoying as his previous wisecracking roles back in the 90s. Willem Dafoe is a phenomenal actor and is criminally not given nearly enough screen time here. It's a shame they killed him off because he would have been of great help in the sequels. Ian McShane served to introduce the audience to the wider world of the story and helped to flesh out some of the rules that govern this universe, which was a nice touch. Overall, John Wick is a gory but fun action thriller starring a veteran Keanu Reeves with a capable supporting cast. The action sequences keep the film fresh even after so many years. The film may come off as silly and unrealistic, but it doesn't really matter because it's very entertaining. It's always fun getting a good action movie. There's been fewer good hits since the height of the 80s, but I'm glad these are still being made and keeping the genre alive. The writing is very tight and has very few moments of useless screen time or lazy conveniences. With a dearth in quality writing, it's good to see a well-structured film. I simply can't wait for more John Wick sequels. I recommend you watch this film if you haven't, otherwise the boogeyman will come and get you. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more great content.